Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Amy Austin.
And I'm Clay Yeager. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Athletics.
The football team took the field looking to add another mark to the win column on Saturday. The team started out strong, but Appalachian State had other plans. The attempt at continuing on a winning streak was halted for the Troy football team. Appalachian State came into Veterans Memorial Stadium, and the Trojans weren't ready for the new team as they fell 53-14.
They were a very good team, and they had a good plan for us both sides of the ball, and of course we didn't tackle them very well, and certainly we didn't block them very well in the clutch. So when you don't do those things, our quarterback had problems reading them. They made the plays, and we seemed to be not where we were supposed to be and didn't make the plays. So that's normally pretty good poison when you play in and coaching football.
Even though Troy took a tough loss, one player stood out in particular. This was the second week that senior Chandler Worthy had a kickoff return. This week's return was for 99 yards.
Full speed and splitting the seam is the way to return kickoffs. Chandler Worthy understands it. It takes great courage to do it. And he's not a giant, he's probably, I don't know how much Chandler weighs, 175, something like that, 180. He's worked hard on his body, and he's got tremendous speed.
The struggle for defensive players was Appalachian State's fast offense. Every time Troy would have them held at a third down, the Mountaineers would find a hole and capitalize on it.
Of course, we were frustrated, but, early on in the game, we kept our head in the game. We tried to keep everybody calm, because it was still a close game early. So
it gets frustrating. As a defense, we try to get off the field on third down, but we couldn't. The ball went their way today, so we just gotta work harder. That's the only thing I can think of. Work harder, keep working.
The football team will take on South Alabama this weekend in Mobile.
The soccer team competed at home over the weekend. On Friday night, the Trojans took on Georgia State, who they defeated 1-0. Then on Sunday for Senior Day, Troy took on Georgia Southern. The Troy soccer team remains undefeated as they shut out Georgia Southern in a 3-0 victory on Sunday, as well as marks the Trojans' 9th win at home.
We've had success at home all year long, and we wanted to keep that success for this last game. It was a real tight first half. Both teams came out and played the way we expected. And then we just talked about the locker room just being a little bit more physical and winning some of those dirty stats, 50-50 balls and tackles and picking up second balls.
In the first half of the game, the Trojans couldn't come up with any points as they struggled offensively.
We didn't quite execute the game plan that we had and the things that we wanted to do, so we just readjusted at halftime. We talked about the things that were going to be important for us to come out and be successful, and they executed to a T. They were perfect in the second half, I thought.
However, the second half was a different story as the Trojans adjusted their game plan. Seniors Louise Chang scored on a free kick from 25 yards out, while Alyssa Jones scored her 9th goal of the season on a pass from the middle field. And Chelsea Williams scored a penalty kick as well.
Especially after we got that second goal, it spread them out a little bit. They had to really open things up and try and push to get back in the game. And it allowed us to get some players some more minutes. We want to get players experience. We want to give the players who have been playing 90 minutes a game a rest. So it's always great when we can use our bench and for both sides of it.
Although the Troy soccer team is undefeated at home, the Trojans have some difficulty on the road, and Chelsea Williams says that this game could be a turning point to start winning away games.
Definitely second half we picked it up and played great soccer and kept good possession. So I think coming in like that, we need to take that momentum into every game and play like that at home or away for the rest of the away games. If we play like that, then we'll definitely get a good spot in the conference tournament.
Clay Yeager, Trojan Sports Now. Next up, the Trojans will take on UALR this weekend, as well as Arkansas State.
The cross-country team competed at the Crimson Classic on Saturday. The women's team finished in 22nd place, while the men's team finished in 25th. Julia Ostendorf finished with the best time for the women's team as she finished the 5K with a time of 18 minutes and 56 seconds. Freshmen Joe Geese and Dylan Ogburn finished with the best times for the men. Geese completed the 8K in 28 minutes and 11 seconds, while Ogburn finished just a few seconds behind at 28 minutes and 14 seconds. The next meet for the Trojans is the Sun Belt Conference Championships on November 2nd, and head coach Elliott Blount was not happy with how his team performed.
What we did get out of it was a wake-up call. I don't think we performed up to our ability at that meet, and typically we like to have two meets like of this caliber before going into conference. We got one in, but I think we learned our lesson, and we have to step up our intensity as far as being competitive.
Next up for the Trojans is a week off before preparing for the Sun Belt Championship.
The women's tennis team finished tournament play at the Sanford Fall Round Robin Tournament against Sanford in doubles play and South Alabama in singles. In doubles, Trang Hyun and Anya Kosovic won the first doubles flight against Sanford's Stephanie Nacha and Karita Mullman. Hyun, as the 107th nationally ranked player, had the opportunity to win the first singles flight, but had to leave due to an injury against South Alabama's Laura Volkova. However, Sanaya Oda competed in the second singles flight and won in the finals against South Alabama's Emily Newton in 3 sets. This weekend, the Trojans will compete in the Big Easy Tennis Classic. And the men's team finished and wrapped up the ITA Regional Championship this past weekend as Giovanni Samaha won the third round match in the singles consolation draw, beating Jake Fuentes from Sanford. However, Samaha fell in the fourth round to South Alabama's Tukey Jacobs. Gabriel Shaka Diaz and Pablo Moreno were scheduled to play in the third round, but Diaz had to withdraw due to an ankle injury. Head coach Scott Kidd says that even though he had some new players playing their first tournament, they performed well and getting better every time they compete.
We always, as a coach, I'm always looking how we can do better as a staff and do better in practice to keep improving. I have a lot of expectations, team, because they are so talented. And got a lot of compliments from coaches from the SEC, impressed with the team. So I think that we've got the right guys here. It's just getting, continuing to improve and grow. And again, competition is what makes you better. We got to continue to play tough competition, good tournaments. And we open up in January. We come right back within a week and a half, and we open up with Florida. So I think that the schedule puts us in the situation to get better and to improve and to be the team they should be.
And the volleyball team competed in 2 matches over the weekend. The first against Sunbelt leader UALR, where they fell 3-1. Then on Sunday, the Trojans took on UT Arlington. Khadijah Torbert was there for all the action.
The Troy volleyball team fell short to UT Arlington Sunday night.
You can't get any closer without winning than we did tonight, and that's unfortunate. I thought we did some really good things. That's a really good quality team. That's the first time we haven't gone 5 with them, and that's still the closest match we've ever played with them. So it's one of those things that we just have to continue to clean up a couple little things and keep staying with our plans, and things will turn around. It's just we're one play away from winning 3-0 instead of losing 3-1.
During the second match, the Lady Trojans put up a fight and scored 37-35 over UT Arlington in that set.
We expected a long, drawn-out, hard-fought match, and that's exactly what we had. So, when we're playing hard like that, when we're putting in the effort and we're making the plays, and Arlington did a great job too. It's a lot of fun to watch and make little tiny adjustments and try to help out as much as you can. But the players did their jobs. It was a lot of fun. It's always stressful on a coach to do that, but it was good for the players to pull out a W there.
Khadijah Torbert, Trojan Sports Now.
But good news did come from the volleyball program this week. Junior Allie Dowdle was named Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Week. Dowdle averaged 7.75 digs per set. She posted 33 digs in Sunday's game against the Mavericks. Dowdle has been averaging 5.75 digs per set in conference play, the second best in the conference. This is the second time this season for Dowdle to receive this award.
The women's golf team wrapped up the Old Waverly Bulldog Invitational, coming in tied for 5th with FIU. As a team, the Trojans shot 6 over 294 with team leaders such as Becca Horner, who shot an even par round, while Fatima Fernandez-Cano had a 1 over in her round. Horner also led the Trojans as she tied for 9th place, carding a score of 219, while Cano came into the 3-way tie with her teammate Langley Vanoy for 16th place, both carding a score of 223. Next up, the Trojans will prepare for the Florida State matchup in Tallahassee. Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan football team's game against state rival South Alabama.
But first, I had the chance to sit down with volleyball player Blair Winston. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.